Excluded from my mother's milestone party, I gathered belongings and rapidly flew off to Paris, securing an exclusive vantage point for the year's familial catastrophe. I ambled along the Champs-Élysées beneath a sharp autumn sky. A stylish Chanel purse dangled from my arm as my cell phone began vibrating like an agitated bee colony. Scores of unanswered calls. A deluge of urgent messages. My sibling Jake, relatives I hadn't communicated with in ages, even Aunt Linda, who genuinely believes mobile phones are a state plot. I surveyed the pandemonium on my display, the notifications merging into a familiar refrain of alarm. Where exactly are you? Contact me immediately. This is a complete catastrophe. I grinned, repositioned my new shades, and silenced my personal device. They had desired my absence from their supposedly peaceful festivity. Understood. Was absent and flourishing while they're cherished. Gathering failed miserably. Permit me to backtrack slightly and clarify my current situation. I am Emily, 38 years old, individual consistently supporting my entire family, particularly my dear mother Evelyn. I relocated back to Chicago after father's passing 5 years prior. Managing her regular medical consultations, weekly food shopping expeditions, in those numerous nocturnal conversations when slumber eluded her. I prepare her preferred lasagna every single Sunday, chauffeur her to bingo with close companions, and even assisted her with complex Medicare documents that utterly bewildered me. Therefore, envision my astonishment upon receiving a call from Jake 3 weeks before Mother's 70th birthday celebration. "Hey," he stated, his tone entirely informal as if placing a food order. "Just an update. We completed the attendee roster for Mom's significant event. Needed to remove some names. You understand, correct?" Affectionately, Jake. Cuts. I gazed at my cell, replaying his concise message. Every single utterance struck me like a physical blow. I wasn't a superficial acquaintance or a far-off relation from the old country. I am her offspring, her firstborn, the steadfast support through every medical concern and solitary festive period. And now, I was abruptly omitted from Mother's significant birthday, arranged by my younger brother Jake, a 32-year-old property broker who had been seeing his current partner, Sarah, for approximately 12 months. I remained in my renovated kitchen, which I had personally completed the previous year, experiencing a gradual surge of incredulity pervading my entire being. This surely must be an error. I telephoned Mother. She answered following a few rings, her voice cordial yet noticeably hesitant. "Hello, darling. What exactly is happening?" "No prevarication. Mother, Jake just informed me I'm not welcome at your 70-year birthday celebration." "What on earth is going on?" A silence sufficiently prolonged to verify it wasn't a mere technical fault. Oh dear. She exhaled in that soothing manner she consistently adopts when she perceives me as overly sensitive. "It's merely a gathering. Don't blow it entirely out of proportion. Merely a party." My gut clenched painfully. Resentment and pain commingling like immiscible fluids. "Mother, I am your own daughter. How is it that I'm uninvited to your 70th birthday?" She produced that disapproving sound as if I were a small child having a petulant fit. "It's not intended to be offensive, Emily. Jake simply wished to maintain a modest, conflict-free event. You understand how situations can unfortunately escalate during family assemblies. Conflict-free?" I chuckled. A piercing, acrid noise. "Conflict-free. Mother, I've supported you through every conceivable challenge. I took leave from my job when you underwent that difficult hip operation. I managed Father's estate so you wouldn't personally have to. I even hosted Thanksgiving last year, when Jake abruptly abandoned us because he was supposedly too preoccupied. And now I embody the drama." "Oh, don't be melodramatic," she uttered, her voice imbued with clear annoyance. "It's one single day. You're transforming a minor issue into a major crisis. Melodramatic there. That was the specific term consistently directed at me, applying my genuine emotions with an imposition. I foresaw this predictable progression. Mother would certainly minimize the situation. Jake would send a lukewarm digital apology, and I'd be expected to smile sweetly and forgive like always. Not this particular instance. something irrevocably fractured within me. If my presence wasn't vital enough for their festivities, then my absence wasn't vital enough for their genuine concern. I terminated the call without further comment and activated my computer. If I wouldn't attend Mother's celebration, I would journey somewhere magnificent. A destination where I wouldn't experience being a secondary consideration within my own kin. I navigated through various travel portals, my fury driving each online selection. In less than 60 minutes, I had secured a 7-day stay in Paris. It's a lavish suite at the Ritz, premium air travel, and a private retail excursion through exclusive fashion establishments. I had always envisioned such an independent voyage, yet consistently convinced myself it was excessively lavish. Not anymore. This represented more than a mere holiday. It constituted a powerful declaration as Mother's celebratory weekend commenced. I was airborne above the vast Atlantic, savoring sparkling wine in my opulent chair. I uploaded an image to Instagram, myself holding a glass of effervescent beverage, the simple pane revealing boundless white clouds. Caption: removed from attendee roster, yet I shall certainly endure. Enjoy the journey. The approvals accumulated swiftly. My cousin Mia forwarded humorous emoticons. My closest university friend remarked, "Conquer, monarch. Include me next journey." The most satisfying response came from Jake, a series of agitated messages. What in the world? Emily, you're genuinely missing Mom's important event because of this. This is trivial. Trivial. I was not even slightly affected. I transmitted to him an image of the Eiffel Tower from my airline publication. Subsequently, I deactivated my mobile. No emotional manipulation. For this singular occasion, I prioritized myself, and it felt utterly emancipating. Upon my arrival at Charles de Gaulle Airport, the invigorating Parisian atmosphere enveloped me like a refreshing gust of new liberty. Bearing delightful aromas of warm pastries and blossoming flora, a polished, dark automobile swiftly transported me to the Ritz. Furnished with a perfectly cooled Perrier bottle in the rear compartment, this experience already far surpassed any typical familial gathering. The hotel was magnificent, truly a dream. A grand marble foyer, luminous crystal fixtures, attentive personnel welcoming me with an arrival beverage prior to registration. My incredible suite boasted floor-to-ceiling windows overlooking the Place Vendôme, a regal, king-size bed adorned with luxurious Egyptian cotton linens, and a perfect observation deck for casual people watching. I advanced onto the private terrace, city illuminations glittering beneath, and released a long breath. This represented my moment, my paramount concern. I captured an image of the vista and uploaded it. When one portal decisively shuts, another reveals itself. Ideally to a Ritz suite with endless baked goods. I understood this message would ultimately reach my relatives. I profoundly desired them to comprehend the precise sensation of being ostracized. The initial complete day was sheer, unadulterated contentment. I commenced with in-room dining, delicate flaky croissants, ripe fresh strawberries, coffee so potent it permanently spoiled all Starbucks lattes. Subsequently, I pursued precisely what I desired. No familial responsibilities. Only myself and the radiant metropolis. By midday, I was within an upscale boutique on Rue du Faubourg Saint-Honore, trying on an exquisite Dior gown. The sales associate complimented me in French, and for the very first time in years. I felt elegant and glamorous, not merely utilitarian. Periodically, I monitored my device, not to reply to kin, but to relish the responses to my updates. Mia dear, where exactly are you? This appears absolutely incredible. Aunt Linda, well done. Emily ought to have brought me. An erstwhile high school friend, living the fantasy. Include me next time. Then I observed an alert that brought a smirk. Jake had observed my narrative. Now he was truly taking notice. I could envision him at the party location, arranging decorations, perusing Instagram while fretting, only to witness my prosperity. Excellent, I reposed against a velvet chaise in the fitting room. Indulging in gratis, bubbly, and mused, savor the celebration, brother. May it fulfill all your expectations. However, as twilight descended upon the scene, my cell phone became utterly inundated. Calls, messages, alerts, accumulating like a massive traffic collision on the expressway. I initially disregarded it, presuming it was merely additional criticism regarding my social media updates. But specific names truly captured my attention. Mother, Jake, Mia, even Uncle Bob. I arched an eyebrow and accessed the communications. The initial message from Mother halted me abruptly. Contact me. Urgent. An emergency at the birthday festivity. I set it aside, pondering my actual level of concern. Then Mia's correspondence immediately appeared. Emily, you won't believe this fiasco. Call me. Curiosity prevailed. I perused further, and with each subsequent text, a smirk widened on my countenance. The cosmos had provided the quintessential retribution. Mother's flawless birthday event had catastrophically disintegrated. As per Mia, the entire incident unfortunately transpired at the banquet venue. Jake had secured an elegant location in central Chicago featuring ornate lighting and a spacious dance area. Jake and Sarah engaged in a colossal argument over a truly trivial matter. Sarah charged him with engaging in suggestive behavior with a server at the preceding evening's pre-wedding dinner. Jake erupted, departed abruptly, abandoning Sarah to unleash verbal abuse and apparently propel an hors d'oeuvre platter across the chamber. Yet it didn't conclude there. Uncle Bob and father's longtime associate became embroiled in a shouting dispute concerning contentious political ideologies, overturning the desert station. Provisions scattered ubiquitously. Prawn cocktail adorned the walls. Cake icing defiled attendees' attire. And Mother, bless her kind, troubled spirit, she began weeping, lamenting that the celebration was devastated due to my absence. Emily would have resolved this. She allegedly sobbed, insisting someone contact me. The facility personnel were compelled to intercede, closing the complimentary bar prematurely to avert a full-scale disturbance. It was an absolute pandemonium. I reclined upon my lodging's spacious bed. Champagne glass firmly in hand, I continued perusing. Mia's messages proved to be pure gold. Sister, you truly avoided a catastrophe. Jake is utterly distraught. Sarah departed crying. And Mother is assigning blame universally. Mother, Emily, telephone me immediately. This is an absolute emergency. And the culminating message from Jake, Emily, where are you? Mother genuinely requires your presence. Ah, now Mother required me. Now I held significant importance. I could practically perceive Jake's vocalization. You simply must come rectify this. It's what you do. Absolutely not. Not this particular day. I composed a sole, succinct rejoinder to Jake. Apologies. Occupied relishing my personal absence of commotion. Trust the party was a triumph. Subsequently, I blocked his contact. I also blocked Mother's number, just as a necessary precaution. I activated my phone's Do Not Disturb function. I requested opulent foie gras and a fine wine pairing via room service and submerged myself into the luxurious bath. My relatives could descend into complete disarray. I was in Paris, and I resolutely refused to permit them to spoil my experience. The subsequent daybreak. I awakened to avian calls beyond my window. The Eiffel Tower, luminous in the nascent daylight. The atmosphere carried the delightful aroma of newly baked bread from the patisserie beneath. For a single sublime instant, I completely disregarded the turmoil at home. Then I examined my device, despite the active blocks. Voicemails from unidentified numbers inundated it, likely relatives utilizing disposable phones. Disregarding prudence, I listened to one. Mother's tone frenzied. Emily, I am completely unaware of your current activities, but this is no occasion for childish antics. The gathering is a catastrophe. We urgently require your presence. I expressed disdain and promptly erased it. Next, Jake sounding utterly devastated. Sister, I implore you. Mother is heartbroken. You are her clearly preferred child. Please return my call. Erased. Then Mia speaking in hushed tones as if under protective custody. Emily, Jake, and Sarah have ended things. Mother intends to descend upon your residence upon your return. Be forewarned. Furthermore, grandmother continues to assert the party was jinxed without you. Amusing, truly. That specific message I carefully preserved. I discarded my mobile and ventured onto the veranda. The sun ascended over Paris, imparting golden shades upon the thoroughfares. Back in Chicago, my family was collecting the shattered fragments. Concurrently, I was here, partaking of café au lait in a silken garment, experiencing my finest existence. Karmic fairness. They'd caused me to feel like an outcast, and now they desperately implored my assistance. I captured an image of my morning pastries, croissants, preserves, and a mimosa, then promptly uploaded it. Commencing the day completely devoid of anxiety, trust all is well back home. Subsequently, I navigated through the obstructed alerts, chuckling at their palpable urgency. I requested an additional mimosa and then reclined. They were at liberty to lament. I had ceased being the designated problem solver. By midday, I was participating in an exclusive retail consultation at Louis Vuitton. A skilled fashion expert selecting ensembles solely for me. A graceful, sleek black gown captured my gaze, absolutely ideal for an elegant evening excursion. My device vibrated once more. This time it was my cousin Tara, the sole individual I had not yet blocked. Her message, Emily, I understand your anger, and justifiably so. But you absolutely must hear what transpired post-celebration. Call me. You will adore it. Tara had consistently been the rational one. Therefore, if she deemed it worthwhile, I initiated the call. She responded on the inaugural ring, brimming with evident vigor. Oh my goodness, Emily, at last. Are you seated? I surveyed my opulent environment, the lavish establishment, sparkling wine effervescing. Indeed, in a rather pleasant, comfortable location. Tara guffaw, Ed Falone, Jake's abrupt departure. Sarah forcibly overturned the self-serve food station. Provisions were strewn everywhere. Pasta, entwined in hair, pastry on footwear. It truly resembled a dreadful romantic comedy. Everyone endeavored to placate Mother. But then, Aunt Linda pointedly interjected. This would not have occurred had Emily been present. She is the individual who consistently maintains our unity. I stared. Hold on, what exactly? Precisely, Tara tittered. Aunt Linda continued to elaborate on how I functioned as the family's essential, cohesive element. Then Jake intervened, declaring it utterly absurd, and they argued right there amidst the considerable disarray. Grandmother became involved, vociferating that the celebration was ill-fated because I wasn't requested. She proclaimed Emily's non-attendance hexed us. I erupted in laughter, nearly spilling my precious beverage. So the very same family that excluded me now faults me for failing to rescue the entire occasion? It improves, Tara added. Mother telephoned Sarah's parents to express contrition. Her mother simply guffawed. Your spectacle. Your monkeys to manage. Latest intelligence suggests Mother is attempting to arrange a redo, but nobody is agreeable. She's utterly devastated. I shook my head, smiling broadly. Do you know the most delightful aspect? What? I sampled my sparkling wine? I am absolutely indifferent. Tara chortled. I don't fault you. Revel in Paris. You made the correct decision. I concluded the conversation, feeling more unburdened than ever. They had desired a conflict-free gathering without me. They received a culinary skirmish instead. I elevated my goblet towards the looking-glass, saluting my own image. Subsequently, I deactivated my mobile and immediately immersed myself in retail therapy. The remainder of the day unfolded magically. A tranquil river excursion at dusk, a refined gourmet meal at a Michelin-recognized establishment, permitting the outer world to gently recede. At one juncture, I contemplated if I truly ought to empathize with Mother. Then I remembered how she'd nonchalantly dismissed my anguish. Absolutely not. I captured a twilight image above the waterway, shared it without any remorse, and powered down once more. Let them handle their complicated predicament. I had finished serving as their contingency. The subsequent morning, I awakened feeling thoroughly refreshed, free from culpability, entirely devoid of pressure. Simply Paris. I requested breakfast, additional pastries, fresh produce, rich coffee, and with a touch of intrigue, activated my device. A grave error. Alerts streamed in. Mother, cease your immature behavior and telephone me. Jake, you are utterly self-centered. Mother is completely heartbroken. An unfamiliar sender, likely Aunt Linda. We absolutely must mend this family. I sighed, entertained by their abrupt pivot from ostracism to demand. Then Tara's communication. Be advised. Mother is arranging a family conference upon your return, I chuckled. They presumed I would appear, be guilt-tripped, and feign normalcy. Impossible. I messaged Tara. Gratitude, however. I am prolonging my delightful sojourn. They wished me absent. I am absent indefinitely, she responded. Fabulous. Share all details whenever you return. I smiled, opened my laptop, and extended my visit by an additional 7 days. No relatives, no turmoil, merely myself, the sartorial metropolis, and profound tranquility. They had never provided that. Now they could not possibly retract it. I dispatched one conclusive message to Mother and Jake. Require my presence now? Regrettably. Relishing my personal absence of conflict. Resolve your own disorder. Then I permanently obstructed their numbers. I ordered a café crème and exited. The vibrant avenues of Paris greeted me, and I embraced them completely. They could retain their pandemonium. I was utterly liberated.